So this next portion for the people who have goals but want to accomplish them in the least amount of time, the least amount of effort, but the most amount of reward. In other words, goal efficiency. And guilty, I'm one of them, primarily for two reasons. One, because we know time is limited, right? Sadly, none of us know how much of it we have left. And though it's our most valuable resource, it's also our most finite. So even if you're working, say, at a pace from having more money than time, this is still extremely important to ensure that where your time is going is going to give you the greatest return of investment. And then secondly, physiology is unforgiving. It will have you doing everything right and putting time in places where day after week, after month, after year, you're still not seeing results. So this is intended to help you solve that problem. So if that's you, then you're going to find some serious value here. For those of you that are new here, my name is Darius Riddick, and I'm a performance physiologist. So besides talk, what I do primarily is create and develop tools and solutions for the future one percenters to live better for longer, aka prosperity. And in this episode, what I wanted to do was just present something that we found as an open access resource for you to accomplish your goals faster and more effectively, specifically in human performance. Now, this works on both the personal and institutional level. So even if you're just someone who wants to accomplish some goals, whether you're at the state level, at the federal level, if you're at the institutional level, and you just want to better your organization or your health climate, then this will work for you. And it is called the triad of goal efficiency. Now, of course, you can apply this to a lot of things, but personally, I look at it like this. I like orange juice, but if I'm squeezing 1,000 oranges to get 1 ounce of orange juice, that's a problem because that's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I'm not maximizing my return on investment. So I asked the question of, how can I do this more efficiently? How can I put something in place or a system or something where I can have the 1,000 oranges squeezed, but to the point where I can get 8 ounces of freshly squeezed OJ every day for breakfast? That's what we want to do with this, and that's what it's intended to foster. So you guys are probably already locked in, and you realize that, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 executive, if you are a janitor, if you're in between jobs, if you're black, white, tall, skinny, young, or old, that we all have goals. So it's important to make sure that because time is limited, that we all have goals, that we're bringing the two together. So the first part of this triad, and I will say you can look this up, you can Google it, you can search it somewhere, but you're not going to find it because we've done this and created it through thousands and thousands of data points, studies, and personal and professional research. So this is a one and only place you're going to get it. You are welcome. Yeah. So the first one is Apex question. So for those of you that have been with us for some time, you already know what the Apex question is. But for those of you that may be new here, the Apex question basically sets us off on the best path possible. And it is, what is my goal? So I know it seems self-explanatory, but when you ask yourself that goal, this question, you've already solved half of what the problem is, because most of the time what we found, and as far as human performance, is people don't ask the question of what is my goal. So they're stuck basically in a dark room trying to hit some sort of target blindfolded. As we say, you cannot hit a target that you can't see. You can't accomplish a goal that doesn't exist. So to make it exist, we have to give it life. And in order to give it life, we have to write it down, acknowledge it, right? Most ideas, as Napoleon Hill might say, are stillborn before they even get a chance. So in order to give this thing some life, we write it down. We make it actually exist. But first, you ask the question, what is your goal? It could be performance-based, right? You want to improve your speed. You want to improve your neuromuscular efficiency. Maybe you want to improve your vertical leap. It could be something aesthetic. Maybe you want to get better abs. You want to get more muscles. You want to get a juicy booty. Maybe it's life. You want to be able to make love in your 80s. Just kidding. Or you want to be able to put your luggage in your overhead bin when you're traveling to Italy with Scarlett Johansson and J-Lo. Hey, not pointing any fingers. What's happened to those goals, okay? So because of that, when you first acknowledge it, that puts you all on the right path. Okay. So number 2, and this one's a little bit complicated, so bear with me here. Number 2 is what most people don't do, but if you are the few people who are open to a new experience, then this is going to change the way that you see everything. And this is called reverse engineer. So number 2 of the triad of goal efficiency is to reverse engineer your goal. So for those of you that are new to what reverse engineering really is, it's just working from the end state. Typically, reverse engineering happens in product development on the corporate level, or, sometimes on the smaller level too, but basically it's done for product efficiency. So there goes that word efficiency again, and it's just simply meaning making something better. So in this case, it's doing something in the least amount of time to get the most amount of reward. Most amount of juice, least amount of squeeze. And how this looks is, for example, let's use one of the most common goals in human history, and that is weight loss, right? We can say that probably 99.9% of humans on earth have this goal at some stage in their life to lose weight. But instead of taking such a direct path and saying, I want to lose weight, a good question to ask, and it was a curiosity, would be like, how does weight loss occur? And to me, this is reverse engineering the goal, because instead of just attacking it directly, you're now asking from the end state, how does it actually occur? What happened here for this weight to be lost? And from the human ecosystem perspective, we know that happens in what's called a caloric deficit. And now this is absent of any pharmaceutical or medical intervention. Okay, we're talking about standard person that wants Uncle Sam and Big Pharma out of their pockets. They want to be able to do this on their own recognizance with what resources they have, or in other words, self-development. So this means to burn more calories than you consume. Okay, and in the second part of that, we're going to talk about these. Second part of this episode, we're going to talk about these in much more detail. So number 3, and of course I'm an ex-government official, so I love my acronyms. And what this acronym, or REP, actually stands for, may seem a bit obvious to some. I'm going to take just a couple minutes to break down what it actually means. And it stands for repeatable, efficient, and predictable systems. Now, as I said earlier, we want to put something in place that squeezes the oranges for you, so that over time you get more and more juice for less squeeze. Okay, because as we get older, you're going to have less energy. So it just makes more sense that you want to not have to do what you did in your 20s and your 30s when you get to your 50s and then your 60s. Okay, my boys in your 18, 19, 20, you think you're invincible now. Give it like 2 decades, and you're going to be like, damn, I wish I had listened to Darius all those years ago. So this matters specifically because you want something that is sustainable. If you take anything from this, I want you to take 2 words, efficiency and sustainability. Efficiency is pretty obvious. Sustainability is important because the human system is going to downgrade over time. The same enzymatic and chemical reactions that happen where you are now are going to slow down over time. So whatever you do, okay, that could be running, that could be lifting, that could be dancing. You want to ensure that you can do it over a long period of time. Because if you do something, you just want to ensure that you can keep doing it. A natural pitfall is people start something new, they're like, I'm a super hard. And when they go super hard, it's not sustainable. Same thing with diet and nutrition. Same thing with these extreme workouts and these extreme lifestyle activities. So I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. We've just found this to be most effective, and most importantly, what gives you the most amount of juice with the least amount of squeeze, and that's sustainable over the longest period of time. So the next part of this, we're going to detail these a little bit more and how you can actually apply them to your life. But that's it for today. I want to thank you guys for giving me this time. Once again, I beat my quota by 5 minutes and 37 seconds. But this concept actually comes from my most recent book, Money, Power, and Health, available exclusively on Amazon.com. Well, feel free to check out some more of the open access videos we have coming down the pipeline. Go to DuraNewHuman.com for more resources. And until then, until next time in the second part of this or the next episode, whenever we may meet again, my friends, much love to you and your families. My name is Darius Riddick, your friendly neighborhood physiologist. And until then, stay muscular, my friends.